Good morning. My name is Leslie Williams, and today's date is May 17, 2012, and I'm in San Diego, California. I'm a target of what is known as organized stalking, electronic harassment, which is the microwave auditory effect, scalar projected audible distinguishable aerial harassment, remote neural monitoring, remote neural influencing, and remote neural stimulating. And this is what is known as a tidbit file, a flashpoint file, in reference to sections of information that are being expedited towards me in San Diego. The places that are used, the type of people that are used, and the nature of the harassment. Now, since this is a tidbit file, tidbit files are files where just sections of descriptions of what targets put up with, including myself, as a result of being subjected to organized stalking expeditions, electronic harassment, and remote neural monitoring. And I'm going to give you an example of how the organized stalking is directly connected to remote neural monitoring and electronic harassment, how it works in concert together to harass targets and victimize targets. Now, this morning when I woke up, see, right now I'm hiking in California, and hiking and homelessness is not a crime, okay? And what they do with targets is they deliberately create homelessness in order to be able to exploit the homelessness by trying to claim that a target cannot take care of themselves as a result of being homeless. It's organized crime in the system. And this is where the social services workers and the county mental health and doctors and neighborhood hospitals play a role in this, as well as the police and members of the district attorney's office, prosecutor's office, syndicated probate judges, and syndicated probate attorneys, because it's all about taking control of a target's finances to exploit their Medicare, their insurance, whatever insurance they may have, or whatever insurance they end up applying for in their name once they get syndicated legal control of them, and then to exploit them sexually. That's the whole purpose of why homelessness is created of a target. They're involved in human trafficking rings, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings, land co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation, identity theft. They're into all types of racketeering. Now, I had to explain that to you in order to be able to explain to you why I am hiking in California, because my rent was stolen. That was mailed, certified mail, United States Postal Service return receipt. And the rent was also purchased as a result of purchasing a United States Postal Service money order. It was stolen by a postal worker who was already mentioned in sections of the Dearborn, Michigan torture timeline by the name of Rose. Okay, she was since I was still being gang-stalked in Michigan in 2011. In November of 2010, I rented an apartment and stayed there all the way up until late September. I left finally for good on October 7th, 2010. I stayed there I rented it on, I rented it on November 29th, 2009, and left there for good, finally, on October 7th, 2010. I started to pay my rent by riding my bike or taking the bus to the Dearborn City Hall postal office where Rose worked at. And I did it deliberately because I knew that I was already being gang-stalked before I got the apartment, throughout the whole duration of while I was at that apartment, and how I was being subjected to the tactics, including even by people that were renting apartments next to mine and the landlord. Now, that's not what this tidbit file is about, but I wanted to give you the name of the post employee that played a direct role in having my rent stolen out of the mail. Also, the Dearborn apartments that are located in Southfield, Michigan played a direct role in this campaign as well. As a result of being harassed on a non-stop basis, being poisoned in my apartment, having my apartment broke into, entered multiple times, having things moved around, stolen, then replaced on a later date, had my food poisoned, come home, had my door wide open, then on top of being harassed by neighbors that were in apartments that were directly to my east of me. They were periodically renting apartments that were directly across from me, and they were in apartments that were direct next west of me. And I caught them in there. I caught them flat out in there, and then the landlord would lie and say that apartment's empty. So I ended up, after my rent was stolen, I ended up leaving. Now, anyways, I'm here in California. I woke up this morning, and I opened up my tent. And I hadn't even had my tent opened up not even a minute. And a bicyclist came by, cleared his throat, and coughed. Because that's what they do. They want to remind you that people know you. Because the whole thing is, if you're a woman and you're camping, you know, and you have perfect strangers harassing you along your routes, including they use social deviants to harass you as well. And so women, you know, women already somewhat feel vulnerable as a result of being alone and being in this situation. And so they want to they're into fear-mongering and sensitizing to you specific types of people to try to condition that fear, like gangster-looking guys, tattooed-looking guys, homeless-looking guys that are really skanked out, because the whole goal is to make you fearful something's going to happen to you, like an assault or a rape. And what they'll do with women is once they get them out homeless on the street, they'll have guys go by and engage in gang stalking, organized stalking, sensitization tactics. What they do is sensitize targets to specific statements. They're called direct conversation tactics, certain physical gestures, and certain sounds, like clearing. Now they're trying to attempt to sensitize me to clearing their nose like this, because that's a normal thing anybody does, because they try to sensitize you to things that normal people do, everyday people do. So when you even hear somebody who's not been solicited to engage in these activities do it, you think that they're involved in it as well. And it's also designed to make you feel crazy, make you sound crazy, and makes you actually even feel crazy. But it's designed to make you sound crazy if you file police reports, because, well, that doesn't matter anyways, because when you call 911, they got your cell phone hacked. So, you know, they automatically know you're calling 911, and they'll forward that call to a syndicated cop. Anyway, so one went by, and I wasn't even up a minute, right up through here on a bike, and he had a big backpack on, so that told me he was probably homeless. And he cleared his nose right as he got directly parallel to me, and then he coughed. They have him going by me saying, "Oh my God," too, and I got videos online showing that I've caught that on audio tape after I predicted it. And then when they see that a target does not have any type of mental responses to the sensitization tactics being delivered towards them by the organized stalkers, they'll use electronic harassment to say, "She doesn't even care about this no more." This is how the remote neural monitoring and the electronic harassment is coupled with the tactics of organized stalking. And that's exactly what I heard. Once I heard it, he got my attention by coughing, and then once he got my attention, he went like this. Because it's nothing but crafted, synchronized harassment through sensitization. And then the remote neural monitoring, what it does is it monitors you neurally to see how you're reacting to it mentally, and then they use the electronic harassment to comment on how you're reacting to it mentally. Hang on a second. Now, if you don't believe what I'm saying, go to YouTube. Just trust me. Go to YouTube and type in remote neural monitoring and listen to all of the NYC Chronicle videos. They're great videos in reference to a totally separate individual who's a target of these crimes as well, literally describing what's happening to her. You can also go to YouTube and type in electronic harassment and listen to the Mars Boy YouTube channel for electronic harassment HD. That's high definition. That means the video he took was high definition. And you'll clearly hear him say how a target is literally even taunted through electronic harassment. My name is Leslie Williams. I expose what's happening to me because the same exact tactics are happening to my fellow brothers and sisters out here in America, hundreds of thousands of them. And, you know, the thing about this is that we're good people. I'm a whistleblower. And, you know, all you have to do is go to Google and YouTube and cross-reference organized stalking and or gang stalking to electronic harassment, remote neural monitoring, and also the community notification, because that's in part how they get so many people to be able to harass you in the community through these means. Okay, they also do it through bribery, slander, bartering, intimidation. Now, you can also go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager who hosts and directs the harassment of target experiences along the route. Understand this and be clear. If you have syndicated police officers who are deliberately put along your path, okay, to harass you, to aid and abet in these expeditions in reference to the falsified police reports. Understand this, fellow San Diegoans, then those police officers have names, and those particular police officers are the ones who are directly connected to the individuals who are hosting and managing the organized stalking, and they are also the ones that are aware of the syndicate who has the names of the individuals who are using the remote neural monitoring and the electronic harassment. It flat out even states it flat out right in the manifesto that that this syndicate is directly connected to organized crime syndicated police officers and firefighters, judges, doctors. You would not believe what I know, and you would not believe what I'm experiencing. Now, well, how is this crime connected to Michigan? It's a nationwide syndicate, and that flat out is mentioned as well in the manifesto. If this video stops while I'm talking, it's because the memory ran out. Just look at the YouTube video that's in the comments feature of this one. My name is Leslie Williams. You know,